So again, good morning everyone. So let us now have the first lesson for fourth quarter. So we're through with properties of parallelogram, trapezoid, as well as fourkite, and we have also through with the different concept on similarity. So this time around for the fourth quarter, we will be dealing with the idea of trigonometry. So trigonometry, is there anyone who has an idea for the branch of mathematics that we will be dealing for this quarter? So trigonometry is a branch of mathematics that deals with what?
Triangle.
With triangle in particular, because from the word trigonometry, from trigono is a Greek word for triangle, while metron will be a word for, Greek word for measurement or meter. So that will be, with that in mind, so triangle and measurements, combining the idea of these two, we can say that trigonometry can be defined as measurements of triangle. So when we talk about trigonometry, we will be dealing with different types of triangle, whether yan ay right or oblique, which is the general condition for triangle. We will be dealing on how to solve for that one. Oo, sinertida. Mga tao sila. Nakatingin ka talaga sa kanila while they are passing by, you know. So, oo, naglalakad din sila. Parang you're fully absorbed and you're engrossed with them. Anyway, going back with what I am saying, again, trigonometry will be dealing with how to solve it. When we say solving triangle, it's not only limited to your sides. It should also be with your angle. So kukuhanin din yung measure natin ng angle as well as the sides of your triangle. So let us now have the first lesson or the first topic on your model, that will be trigonometric ratios. Get inside, Ryan. So trigonometric ratios. When we talk about trigonometric ratios, we will be dealing here with function. Later on, we will be discovering what are these functions and how can we determine the value for this function alongside with the angle through the ratio. Ratio meaning the relationship of the theta or the angle to the sides of your triangle. But before we go on with trigonometric ratio, let us first recall on how to identify the relationship of the angle and side between and among each other. Suppose you have here a right triangle. Let's say we have your triangle ABC. And as for angle, ang gamitin natin symbolism or symbol for angle will be theta. Theta, or whatever, it will be again,
Greek letter po yan.
it will be a Greek letter for, usually utilized, commonly used for to denote angle. So pwede naman bago niya, kung gusto nyo ng alpha, it will be your call. Kung gusto nyo ng ibang mga symbol or Greek letters or script letter, it will be your call. But the commonly used is theta or theta. So using this illustration, let us identify the role of each side with each other and between and among each other. So for this one, let us just identify on the figure which one will serve as your hypotenuse. Alin ba dito ang magsaserve as your hypotenuse sa ating illustration? Which segment or which side will serve as the hypotenuse? Yes, Darren?
Segment AC.
So segment AC will be your hypotenuse. So paulit-ulit tayo dun sa pag-identify, and that will be again the reason why AC will serve as your hypotenuse. What will be our basis? What will be our reference? Ano ba ang resibo natin? Bakit nasabi natin siya ang hypotenuse? Yes, Angel?
Sir, ito po yung pang-opposite po ng right angle.
So very good. It will always be opposite your right angle. So anything that is opposite the right angle will serve as your hypotenuse or denoted as the longest side of your triangle. And with respect with your theta, your reference angle. So yan yung reference angle natin. Reference angle natin, what side will serve as the opposite? Ano ba yung katapat ng theta? Which side is opposite the theta or the angle or our basis angle here? Yes, Anertida?
So angle A.
That will be side. Katapat ng theta. This will be your theta. Let me just have that one. Which side is in front of it? Ano yung nasa harapan yan? Side?
AB.
it will be sine AB. So this one will be labeled as opposite. Pakitandaan mo yung labeling natin na for the sides. And for the other side, it will be labeled as adjacent. Adjacent because it is next to your theta. Katabi kasi siya ng theta. Although yung hypotenuse ay katabi rin ng theta, but since it has already a label, we will not be changing that one. So instead, this one will be your adjacent. So these are the things that you must know first before we can proceed with our trigonometric ratios. Maliwanag po yung pag-identify na, again, let me repeat. Your right angle or the hypotenuse is always opposite your right angle. Your opposite side naman is always in front of your theta or the reference angle. And for your adjacent, it will always be next to your theta. How about if the given illustration is like this? Let us just have some variation. Let's say we have your x, y, and z as your angle. So which will serve as the hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent? Let us just identify it. Yes, let us have, what's your first name again? Yes, Eva, Destiny. XC will be your what?
Hypotenuse.
It will be the hypotenuse. Well done. How about the opposite? With regards to theta ha, kasi yung theta yung ating basis, yung reference angle natin. Yes, Dilken.
Sidewise.
So sidewise will be opposite since it's in front of your theta. And what will be the adjacent? What will be the adjacent? Yes, Jacob.
Sidewise.
So it will be sine yx as your adjacent. Nakikita niyo yung changes depending on the position of theta. So theta will be our basis, our reference in identifying the opposite and the adjacent. Yung hypotenuse naman kasi it's automatic na katapat siya lagi na 90 degrees. Clarification for this. So moving on with trigonometric ratio, let us first have the trigonometric functions. So ano ba yung mga trigonometric functions natin na involved for this one? So I am hearing it a while ago, nababanggit na naman ni Jared and ni Brian yung trigonometric functions natin. Actually, trigonometric functions can be categorized, can be divided into two classification. We have the basic and we have the reciprocal. Later on, you will know why it is called reciprocal function. So what are the basic functions for trigonometry? Yes, any idea from the group? Yes, Brian?
Sine, cosine, tangent.
So we have the sine, we have the cosine, and we have the tangent. These are the basic function. Basic meaning this will be the common function utilized in trigonometry. And for writing purposes, medyo pinapakili natin, we're abbreviating it. What will be the abbreviation for sine? It will be SIN. But the pronunciation will be sine pa rin po. It will not be called as sin. For cosine, it will be cos. And for tangent, it will be tan. Maliwanag. Though it's abbreviated, it will still be the same wording that we're going to use. So it will be sine, cosine, and tangent. How about for the reciprocal function? What will be its counterpart? For sine, it will be, we have the cosecant. Yung iba cosecant, yung iba cosecant. It will be the same anyway. How about for cosine? It will be secant. And for the last one, so we have the cotangent. How about the abbreviation for cosecant? It will be CSC. Pero cosecant pa rin po ang basa. Second will be sec. And for cotangent, we have cot. Question. So these are the basic and reciprocal function for your trigonometry. How about the ratios involved now? For you to easily memorize the concept and context of trigonometric ratios, we're using mnemonics, yung pattern. What will be the pattern utilized for the basic function and the reciprocal function? Yung ginagamit natin mnemonic ay SOHCAHTOA. So, ka, and TOA. So what does it mean? What does it stand for? Para saan yung mga letters na involved dyan? Let us start with SO. Yes, Senator Ida.
Sine, opposite.
So it will be sine theta equals
Opposite over hypotenuse.
over hypotenuse. So, a function can only function if there will be an angle. Kaya kailangan lagi siyang may nakalagay na particular angle. The function plus angle equals to its ratio. Maliwanag po yan na. So, we have the for sine, opposite, and hypotenuse. Kaya yung pattern ay so. How about for ka? What will be the conditions under the acronym ka? Yes, Darren.
Cosine equals adjacent.
So cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And the last one, how about for TOA? What will be the condition or words associated with the acronym TOA? Yes, Mark Gabriel.
Tan is equals to opposite over
So
adjacent.
tangent theta, sabi ko kayo na purasa sa tangent, not just simply tan. Tangent theta equals,
To opposite over adjacent.
so we have opposite over adjacent. So yun yung ibig sabihin ng SOHCAHTOA TOA for the basic function. How about for the reciprocal function? What will be the pattern for the reciprocal function? It will be CHO-SHA-COW. CHO-SHA-COW. Ikaw mukhang kalabaw, ganun ba? So we have the CHO-SHA-COW. So what does CHO-SHA-COW means? For the first one, what will be the meaning of CHO, or what will be the words associated with the acronym CHO? Yes, Angel.
Cosecant
So cosecant theta equals,
to hypotenuse over opposite.
so hypotenuse over adjacent. Comparing your sine function and your cosecant theta, or your, what is,
Ano po? Opposite po.
sorry, I stand corrected. Okay, thank you for the correction. So we have opposite. I haven't heard it clearly. So again, going back with this one, what have we noticed regarding sine theta, or the ratio for sine theta and for cosecant theta? What have you seen? What have you observed? Yes, Angel.
Sir, yung dun po sa sine, opposite over hypotenuse po, while dun po dun sa cosecant, hypotenuse over opposite.
And what concept is that in mathematics? It's called reciprocal. That's why we call it as a reciprocal function. Maliwanag. Babalik rin lang natin siya. Meaning to say, if the value for sine theta is 1/2, let me just have an example. 1/2, ang cosecant theta will be equal with what? 2 over 1, or simply 2. Just simply get its reciprocal. Kaya mo siya tinawag na reciprocal function. Meron mga dyang complementary function, yung mga cosine and sine. Secant and cosecant, and cotangent and tangent, they are complementary kasi they will have equal value. Later on, you will see the condition as we go through with the discussion. How about for SHA? If CHO means cosecant equals to hypotenuse over opposite, how about for SHA? Yes, Brian.
Sec is equal to
Secant theta,
hypotenuse over adjacent.
so we have hypotenuse over adjacent. Very good. And the last one, how about for the cow? Oh yes, Jilken.
Cotangent
So cotangent theta equals,
adjacent over
so we have adjacent over opposite. That will be our condition. Question po for the trigonometric function and trigonometric ratios. So this will be your pattern na always remember SOHCAHTOA and CHO-SHA-COW. Takikopya mo na yung ating first condition.